Thank you. The world of New Mexico politics lost a very familiar face. Longtime House Speaker Ben Lujan died in a Santa Fe hospital last night. Today, people who worked with him, and there were a lot of them, were shocked, even though they knew he'd been battling cancer. Here's News 13's Katie Kim.
He is a household name. Ben Lujan's name and picture fill the walls of the Roundhouse. So do stories of his tenacity, gentleness, and great love for the state of New Mexico. Democratic House Speaker Ben Lujan, the longtime lawmaker from Nambe, died late yesterday after a battle with lung cancer. He was 77.
That is a fight I will not shy away from.
Earlier this year, Lujan dropped a bombshell announcing he had stage 4 cancer. He kept it a secret, even from some family members, for 2 years.
Didn't miss a day.
Representative Al Park from Albuquerque says the speaker didn't waver, leading the House by day and receiving treatment by night.
This is a guy who loved the state, cared deeply about the people, and dedicated his life to New Mexico.
A former iron worker turned politician, Lujan was a Santa Fe County commissioner before he was elected to the House in 1974. He rose to the speakership in 2001.
He would fight you tooth and nail on the floor of the House on an issue that he was adamant about.
Some would argue the speaker had a hand in every major bill that passed or didn't pass during his tenure. But his staffers say the causes he was most proud of were eliminating the food tax and improving the lives of deaf children. But as hardworking as he was,
Make absolutely no mistake about it, his family was always first.
Speaker Lujan married his high school sweetheart, Carmen.
He would always talk about how good of a basketball player he was. And his wife would say, oh, but Ben would shoot air balls. Because Ben would be looking at me.
His family was by his bedside last night.
He was waiting for his grandson, who's in the military, flew in from Kentucky. He did not get in till about 10 o'clock.
The speaker passed away less than an hour later. Gone, but not forgotten, as a giant in New Mexico politics. Katie Kim, KRQE News 13.
Speaker Lujan is survived by his wife, 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild. Of course, among his children is Congressman Ben Ray Lujan. Funeral arrangements are still pending. As lawmakers gear up to meet in less than a month, the bills are